advantage when it comes to UK-Uganda relations. Our patient to see both countries thrive, and I'm fortunate to play a key role in making that happen. Having been Minister for Business and Transport, I stood down to take the role as a trade envoy to support the country of my birth. President, you can take a boy out of Uganda, but you can't take Uganda out of the boy. The UK and Uganda may be geographically separate by thousands of miles, but they are brought about together by the shared victory, by the shared history, cooperation, and membership of the Commonwealth. And I know the President is very enthusiastic about Commonwealth. What I say in UK about Commonwealth is Europe, our neighbors, America is our ally, but Commonwealth is our family. Hence, we have left European Union. I guess we were too continental for last 4 decades. I guess we were too continental for last 4 decades, and you saw that our trade with Africa used to be just over 30% not long ago, and that came down to less than 4%. And of course, in Uganda, the success of Uganda is its private sector. In fact, it's a jewel in the crown. In fact, President Reagan pointed out insight into the government's view of the economy. If it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. If it stops moving, subsidize it. Now, this is a cycle that we should now break. It's happening not just here, but in Europe as well. And the government are already taking steps to improve the business environment, both here and UK. A good example is that many countries now doing better in terms of ease of doing business. And I say Uganda has improved quite a bit in the last 10 years. I say this because I love this country and I want it to succeed by helping business thrive. You ensure prosperity for all. The UK is reshaping trade with developing countries through the recently launched trading framework, the Developing Countries Trading Schemes, DCTS. The DCTS will be one of the most generous sets of trading preferences of any country in the world, helping to grow trade, boost jobs, and drive economic growth. The new scheme demonstrates UK commitment to building long-term, mutually beneficial relations with Uganda. I can announce today that from next year, despite the fact we haven't signed a trade deal, from next year, 99% of Uganda's export to the UK will be duty-free. Ultimately, we want to increase bilateral trade between Uganda and UK. Our offer to business includes UK export finance, private investment vehicles, ODA-led finance, access to government and DIT in-country support. And Tuesday, I had a lengthy meeting with the Honourable Minister of Finance as to how we can bring competition into Uganda's borrowing. He doesn't want to rely on UK government lending, but we want to see some private sector coming into it. Plus, our limit of 2 billion, it was 60 million when I first took over this job. It went up to 600 million, and now we have 2 billion. And the amount of trade we are doing with Uganda, this money will soon dry up, hence bringing UK export finance for private sector in Uganda, but most important, bringing competition in it so we can have value for money. So I really thank you, Minister, for an amazing meeting we had together. Day before yesterday, I launched the Government Growth Gateway with Uganda's Trade Minister. The digital portal has already helped many UK companies to do business in Uganda. I want to emphasize that Uganda is an important part in trade and investment to the UK, and we want to support Uganda in becoming more prosperous by supporting the private sector by increasing exports, drawing in more investment to the country. 50 years ago, Uganda witnessed a great tragedy, and many Asians had to leave. However, we have come far since then, are now looking to the future. The next 50 years will see Uganda go from strength to strength as it opens its doors to those who want to help build up, including Ugandan Asians that are coming back to Uganda to do business. The relationship between Uganda has with the UK continues to grow, and as a sign of progress Uganda has made, I'm pleased with Greece's appointment of Her Excellency Nimisha Madhwani, also a Ugandan Asian, like me, as Uganda's High Commissioner to the UK. I look forward to working with Her Excellency to continue to foster links we have. In the UK, we have a very diverse cabinet, not because of the quotas for the sake of diversity, but because it results in better outcomes. Indians have been in Uganda for 100 years and contribute just over 60% of GDP and Ugandan tax to the Ugandan Revenue Authority. So, President, I want to see the diversity. We in our cabinet have 2 East Africans, 2 West Africans, and the Prime Minister, also East African, holding more senior jobs. I want to see that diversity in Uganda, to see that the Ugandan Indians living here for many years to be in your cabinet and to be in your government. I also equally will tell the Ugandan Indians, please do come forward, participate in the civic duty and politics of the country, stand for Parliament, and make sure you make great contribution to this country and make a difference. In conclusion, we have made a great progress since I became trade envoy, and many would say we are enjoying a good trading relationship. However, we can and will do so much more. And I say this, when I first took over this job, our trade with UK, Uganda was 160 million in 2016. Now, with work in progress, is hitting over £5 billion. What an amazing success. Thank you, President, and everybody here for listening to me.
I've managed to secure 45 seconds for the next 3 speakers each, and beyond 2 minutes there will be consequences. Once you don't hear yourself, you know you've run out of time. And that is Mr. Vinay Dauda. You will have nothing more than 2 minutes. Mr. Mohan Reddy, Secretary General for the Indian Business Forum, 2 minutes, strictly 2. And Mr. Mohan Rao, Chairman, Indian Association, it will be 2 minutes. Beyond 2 minutes, the controls will catch your sound.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, all protocols observed. It gives me a great pleasure and honor to welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to the Afro-Indian Investment Summit. Your Excellency, this summit has been organized to mark the 100 years of investments and business achievements of the Indian community, especially the Indian Association Uganda, which was founded in 1922. The Indian Business Forum has jointly organized this summit together with the Government of Uganda, Ministry of Finance, and the Ugandan Investment Authority. This event is to especially showcase existing investments of Indian origin and build confidence amongst potential investors. Your Excellency, when you became our President, you immediately ordered the return of the Asian properties to their original owners, representing a major step to restore confidence in the country and the government. For several decades now, the Indian community has played a significant role in the socio-economic development of Uganda. We've invested in a range of commercial activities, including agro-processing, pharmaceutical, and many other sectors. Most of the successful business concerns are owned by Ugandans of Indian origin and rank as leading taxpayers. We applaud your government, Your Excellency, your government's commitment to enhancing the business-friendly environment by being responsive to investors' needs and offering investments to ease the project implementation. We have designed an agenda that focuses on the top investment opportunities in Uganda, ranked by the National Planning Authority. We expect that during the planned plenary and breakout sessions, participants will present various perspectives, solutions to bottlenecks, and benefit from the information that make them informed decisions that will lead them to invest in Uganda. Your Excellency, I'm pleased to inform you that we have over 600 delegates present here, including foreign delegates from 18 countries. I am sure they will enjoy the hospitality of Uganda and decide to invest in our Pearl of Africa. Your Excellency, as I conclude, on behalf of the committee and the Indian community, allow me to thank you for honoring us with your presence and for your great and visionary leadership of this nation. Your guidance, we will certainly achieve our goal to promote more investment in Uganda as well as inclusive prosperity of all. Thank you.
His Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of Uganda, Honorable Ministers, Ambassadors of various countries, UAE Board and Summit Chair, Executive Committee members of Indian Association, Board members of Indian Association and IVF Committee. As a Secretary General of Indian Business Forum, I am privileged to be here to brief about Indian Business Forum. Indian Business Forum was started in the year 2014. Prior to this, Indian Association, which is a parent body, used to do activities of business community. There are more than 1,340 companies operated by either Indians or Indian origin persons in Uganda, out of 8,617 companies registered here. Approximately 27,000 Indians are living in Uganda, which means that less than 1% of the population, but the contribution to the revenue collection is 60%, sir. According to Uganda Investment Authority, India is the second source country for investments in Uganda. Between 2015 and 2020, Uganda Investment Authority licensed 228 Indian investment projects valued at 464.5 million, accumulating in nearly 20,000 jobs. Major areas of interest were manufacturing, agriculture, construction, healthcare, real estate, and education. In its latest report, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development notes that out of all the East African community members, Uganda received the biggest share of foreign direct investment, topping $1 billion in 2021. By hosting the Afro-Indian Summit, we want to help maintain this momentum by inviting potential investors from across the world and those who are already here to explore the new opportunities available for them as we aim for greater inclusive prosperity. Uganda has much to offer in terms of natural resources. The oil and gas sector is already being developed. New geodata shows that Uganda has large underexploited mineral deposits of gold, oil, high-grade tin, tungsten, salt, agricultural fertilizers, etc. Some 70% of the population is young and increasingly skilled. The country is also strategically located to take the advantage of regional markets and bigger Africa continental free trade zone. What is needed is more capital and know-how, and this summit is the way to help convince investors that Uganda is the ideal destination for good returns on their investments. The Indian community has helped build the country industrial base, steadily increased the output of goods and services, created employment and paid taxes, and shown total commitment to Uganda because this is home. We hope the Afro-Indian Summit will make a new era of shared prosperity. Thank you, Your Excellency, for God and my country.
Good afternoon. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Cabinet Ministers, Minister of Finance, Mr. Matia Kasaja, Honorable Orie Mokelo, Honorable Evelyn Anite, and members of diplomatic corps, UK Envoy Lord Popat, Iranian delegation led by Dr. Amir and Rekaji, UAE Board Chairperson, and then Director General, Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Mr. Vinay Dauda, IAU trustees and executive committees, all IBF members, distinguished guests and participants from here across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. On behalf of Indian Association Uganda, I welcome Your Excellency to this first of its kind Afro Indian Investment Summit to celebrate 100 years of Indian Association in Uganda. I also welcome all our guests to Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Let me start congratulating you, Mr. President, and the people of Uganda upon reaching 60 years of independence, 36 years of which have been under your visionary and enabling leadership. In the same breath, I congratulate you, Indian Association, and entire Indian community living and working for Uganda and reaching the milestone of 100 years as an association in Uganda. It's an uniting body of all people Indian origin living and working in Uganda, who are approximately 27,000 people now today, as on today. The aim of association is to collect funds from Indian living in Uganda and do charity for needy Ugandans. Indian Association is an umbrella body, has 52 associations under it. These are further help to organize our people according to their origins and cultures and reasons. As a part of our charity programs, we have sponsored 103 heart surgeries up to last year. And we planned 100 heart surgeries in this year, and till now we achieved 34 heart surgeries, and 6 more are gone yesterday, and balance will go within 2 months to the India to get treated by heart surgeries and come back. Indian Association also sponsored over 1,000 students on technical education and related vocational training disciplines. This has been made possible through our community associations. Let us clap ourselves. We also collected 20,000 prints of blood. This is the record in Africa. We commend you. Well implemented reopening of all sectors of the economy after the pandemic, and as a result of that, Your Excellency, here we are hosting this investment summit to attract investors and forge businesses, the relationship with Uganda and Uganda businesses. Your Excellency, I am proud to inform you, the members present here in the different parts of world in Uganda, thank you, Your Excellency, and your government. Our stay can be summarized as 3 P's: peaceful, pleasant, and profitable. Translated in figures, we contribute up to 60 to 65% every year Ugandan economy. The 3 P's always we talk about, we can be simply broken down as follows. I always say this one for new investors who is coming to Uganda. First P stands for peaceful. This is directly attributed to the peace living and investment environment that was brought about under and maintained by the NRN government. This is a key facilitator for business growth and encourage more investment because of security persons and property is guaranteed. P number 2 stands for pleasant. This refers to the nature environment of this wonderful country, the flora, phenomena, physical features of abundant natural resources, complemented by the favorable weather conditions all year round, and the unmatched warmth, hospitality of Ugandan people and government makes it a pleasant and comfortable to place to live and do businesses peacefully. Number 3, P, stands for profitable. This is a result of 2 P's. With those facilitators in place, our stay and business in Uganda are definitely profitable, which is ultimate goal of doing businesses. With this achievement, we are encouraged to invest more and attract more investors as we are doing now. Considering this significant contribution to the economy and facilitators that we attempt to elaborate in the 3 Ps, in addition to the potential business we see in Uganda, the Indian Business Forum established in 2014 to handle all business issues and business-related issues, since Umbrella Indian Association is a purely non-profitable organization. Your Excellency, please allow me to repeat what I stated to you in our recent engagement in the presence of all these people. Due to your capable stewardship, Uganda is almost achieving middle income status despite growth of population as $900 per capita income. Only $100 are short to $1,000 capita income required to make as a middle class economy. Let us clap ourselves. We are the one bringing economy in this country. It's without a doubt that if it is not and COVID disruptions, we would have achieved this through your policies and promote economic integration, both vertical and horizontal, and value addition for our products and natural resources across the various sectors of the economy. On the basis of that, sir, on behalf of Indian Association Uganda, and on my behalf of, I take this opportunity to inform Your Excellency, in your presence today, we signed your letter of intent, LOI, for the investment amounting about $169.5 million. Let us clap. I therefore invite more of them to invest to do business in Uganda. In order to make LOI actionable, among other strategic approaches, we kindly request you to allocate us an industrial park so that we can encourage investors to come and invest in manufacturing, value addition to agriculture and mineral products, business processes, outsourcing, and other services. Indian national and Indian origins, so far 1,803 industries we established, manufacturing industries we established in Uganda, and invested around $3.1 billion in past 20 years. We would like to increase this capacity. That's why we are taking up these projects. Your Excellency, it is a common knowledge that our spirit of regional and continental integration starting to yield fruit with the emergence of both continental and regional economic trading blocs, which includes but not limited to East African Continental Free Trade Area, East African Community Economic Integration, COMESA, PTA, among others. As a community with a significant contribution to the economy, we would like to include these deliberations because we may have a thing to offer. With your permission, sir, let me inform you investors here that the NRM government, through the Uganda Investment Authority, has set up one-stop center to facilitate investors by easing and reducing the costs, business registration, tax registration, advisory services, and so much more. We would also take an advantage of this service for convenience and to save valuable time and money. We also commend you, sir, for the well-being through the government programs that are aimed at boosting household income and improving lives of Uganda. One of them being parish model, which is well executed, will make a significant impact on our people. We pledge our full support to your government in our different capacities, especially as a business people, we live and from the same economy as everyone else. Increase the household income translates directly to increase the purchasing power and market our goods and services. Once again, thank you, sir, for your acceptance and grace this historic summit with your attendance, and wish you and the people of Uganda very successful in our endeavors to develop, transform this country. I would like to thank Ministry of Finance, Planning, Economic Development of Uganda and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to grant this cooperation, attention at all these times. I once again welcome you to Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Enjoy this summit and rest of the day for God and my country. Thank you.
If anyone has problems computing 2 minutes, but they have no problems computing millions of dollars, you can forgive them. Your Excellency, our next speaker should have been Mr. Varghese Tambi, the Managing Director of Diamond Trust Bank, but because of time, he will speak later, but I'll let you know that he is the longest-serving MD of a commercial bank in Uganda. He was board member of Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services for 4 full terms, 2008 to 2014, and he was the immediate past treasurer of the Uganda Bankers Association until recently. Mr. Tambi has over 45 years of banking in India and Uganda put together, and for this session of ease of doing business, he definitely has a lot to say. Mr. Tambi Varghese, please stand up for recognition of the President, and you can wave in that direction. The President has very good sight. I would not be surprised if you are invited over for coffee at the appropriate time. I have been long enough to see how these things work. I would like to invite the Mama Investment. Your Excellency, this daughter come grandchild of yours may not look like she normally does, is because today she is Evelyn Anite Patel. So she decided to look like her parents from another life, and she will come here and take over from Mildred to Haise Manish and Samson Kasumba Ashish.
Thank you very much, Samson Kasumba Ashish. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, my Senior Minister, Honorable Matia Kasaija, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, the Minister of State for Energy and Minerals Development, the Minister of State for Energy. I've seen 2 ministers from energy. Please, the ministers, would you just stand up and wave to His Excellency so that I don't miss any minister? Thank you. That's the Minister of State for Minerals and the Minister of State for Energy. The Chairman, Uganda Investment Authority, the Executive Director, Uganda Investment Authority, the Director General, Uganda Investment Authority, my very good friend and a friend to His Excellency the President, Lord Puppet, our ambassadors of India to Uganda, would you stand up? Of Uganda to India, would you stand up for recognition? Thank you very, very much for mobilizing our investors from India to come for this forum. Our ambassador of Uganda to UK, my friend Namisha Madvan, our hosts, because we're in the property of one of our good friends, Dr. Sudhir Pereira, all our gallant and distinguished guests. Good afternoon. Namaste. Namaste. I thought that would be the language that you'd understand. Mr. President, before I give my speech, allow me to recognize a couple of foreign dignitaries. All our Indian investors who are coming to Uganda for the first time, would you like to stand up for recognition? If you're here for the first time. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Mr. President, these are very fresh blood, all the way from India to Uganda. You're most welcome to the Pearl of Africa. You can take your seats. Mr. President, allow me to recognize, and for your information, our investors all the way from Iran. Would you stand up? They're friends of Indians, and they're here all the way from Iran. Thank you very much indeed for coming to invest in Uganda. Mr. President, allow me to introduce to you our investors from UK. Please, would you stand up? Mr. Sanjay and your team, everyone from UK. Lord Puppet, I know that you have led the delegation from UK. If you could stand with them. Thank you very, very much. Your Excellency, we also have investors from Jordan. I'd like to ask them to stand up. Jordanians. Okay. Thank you very, very much for coming. Your Excellency, we did mention to you that we have investors from 18 countries. And our investors, Indians, who have been here for 100 years. Would you like to stand up? 100 years. The Madivani Group, and you can see 100 years. They're right here. Very, very good. Thank you very much. Those who have been here for 50 years, would you stand up? 50 years? Very, very good. Thank you very, very much. Are those who have been here for 5 years? Thank you very, very much. Those who have been here for 1 year? Very, very good. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Your Excellency, we are not here for a conference. We are here promoting Uganda to be our best investment destination in Africa. Mr. President, we are here to recognize your efforts and the support that you've given to 43 million Ugandans. Your Excellency, our history was distorted, and we got embarrassed in the world scene until God blessed us with you. A gentleman who became the president of this country, who was a Kakwa like me, President Idi Amin. The only thing I have in common with him is the tribe. But all the other things, apart from your speed, apart from your energy, I resemble you. Mr. President, today we are here to celebrate you for doing a very noble cause for our country, which is when President Idi Amin expelled Indians out of Uganda because of short-sightedness. When you came to power in 1986, you made a directive that all the Asians should come back. But that was not the amazing part. The amazing part of what you did was, Your Excellency, you said the property of all the Asians that were taken by Ugandans should be returned to the Asians. Your Excellency, we're not talking about one property. You said taking people's property is kisirani, it's bad luck. And you washed and cleansed Ugandans. And from that day, our doors started opening. Uganda started prospering. Today, Mr. President, we're talking about 8,000 factories, thanks to you. Let us clap for the President. When President Idi Amin expelled the Asians, the properties of the Asian community was 8,502. And the chairperson of the board of the departed Asian is here. I want to ask him to stand up. Please stand up, the MD. And Honorable Matia Kasaija, my senior minister, presides over this. Your Excellency, the good news I want to give you is that because of your directive, as I speak, we have returned 4,063 properties to the Asian community. Your Excellency, we are very, very happy because that decision you took, I must say, is the reason as to why today we talk about 1,139 Indian-owned factories in Uganda. Let us clap for the Asian community. I can only imagine, had it not been for my tribesmen to do that bad manners, how far Uganda would be. But the glory, and I thank God that President Museveni, God blessed us with you. And that's why our economy is prospering. Your Excellency, indeed, we are not here just talking and conferencing. I want to tell you, before you arrived, my chairman of Uganda Investment Authority and the DG of Uganda Investment Authority, would you like to stand up? These two gentlemen gave an account of the investment opportunities that you've guided us to promote nationally and internationally to our investors. And they were here on this podium, and we educated our investors with the tax incentives, with the non-tax incentives like land that we give to our investors free. They also did educate our investors on the fact that you do not condone corruption. You said we must make sure that we do not take anything from our investors. What you need from our investors is the job and indirect tax. Your Excellency, that was given to our investors, and indeed they praised that. Mr. President, it was already said, but just for emphasis, I did witness signing of 169.5 million US dollars as new investment in the country. Your Excellency, I still want to trace it back to the good deeds that you introduced to the country. Your Excellency, I'm overwhelmed, and I know that we have a short time, but I want to say something that is very unique about you, that as Ugandans, we need you. And before I make that statement, I want to ask all Ugandans in this room, led by my good friend and brother, to stand up. He knows himself, and he's standing on the left. Mike Mukula, would you like to stand up, Captain? And all the Ugandans, if you're a Ugandan in this room, please stand up, and you're an investor. Yes. The investor promoters like Kashumba, they're standing up. Thank you very, very much. Your Excellency, because of your relentless promotion of investment in Uganda, we're talking about 3,559 Ugandan-owned factories. Ugandans, thank you very much for listening to the call of your president. God has blessed us as a country with a unique leader, a leader who is very, very energetic, and today he demonstrated. He's 78 years, I'm 38 years, age difference of 40 years. But he beat me and my senior minister, Matia Kasaija, and my brother, Ladit, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, on walking. We are running, the president was walking. Your Excellency, I concede defeat. You are indeed the true leader Uganda needs. Mr. President, you're so welcoming, so hospitable, and yet visionary. Your vision for our country, needless to say, is to take us to middle income status and beyond, is to industrialize Uganda. When you took over power, you said, indeed, it is not just change of guards, but it is a fundamental change. If you believe that the fundamental change has happened, please put your hands and clap it. Your Excellency, we are witnessing the fundamental change because we see the growth and industrialization of our country. We have been very peaceful for over 30 years. Thank you. I want to end my speech by saying, you're not only a leader of Uganda, not only are you a leader in Africa, but you are truly a leader of the world. Thank you very much. Mr. President, we shall continue doing your job as directed to facilitate investment in Uganda for the growth of our country. That said, Your Excellency, allow me now go to testimonies that will be given briefly by the Asian community who have lived long enough here, because we have new investors, I want them to testify about the goodness of our environment. Is it true that Uganda is investor friendly? Is it true that you can actually invest in Uganda and you thrive and you get your money? Is it true that it is profitable? Is it true that it is prosperous? So I want to ask Madvan Group, the chairman, Meta Group, to come and take the stage. I want to ask, and as I do that, please play the video of Modern. Kara, please do that. I want to ask the Madvani group of companies to come, the Meta group of companies, Dr. Sudhir Pereira to come and take the stage. I want to ask Mr. Setaram Reddy, SR Agro, to come. I'm not seeing the video playing. Kara, what has happened? I want to ask Mr. Jay Patel, our new industrial park owned by the Asian community in Buyukwe. I want to ask Mr. Ashish Manpara to come. Dr. Sudhir, take a seat. I want to ask Mr. Mohan. Mohan is already here. Mr. President, they are going to take 1 minute each. And after that, we will go into the closing ceremonies where we'll be getting you to speak, sir.
When intent meets action, an unequivocal force of nature is born. The developmental course of Africa is one such force. Playing a pivotal part in that growth is Uganda, the fastest growing industrial country in East Africa. And at the forefront of Uganda's growth story is the Modern Group. The Modern Group has forged a robust relationship. A relationship built upon strong foundations of transformative leadership and development-centric approach. The seeds of our relationship with Uganda were sown in 2016 with Modern Distilleries, which has now bloomed into a group with a total investment of over $150 million, employing over 1,600 people and creating indirect jobs for 2,500 more. And while we create jobs for people, we are creating a business ecosystem worthy of celebration. At Modern Tiles, we procure 90% of the required raw materials locally. With Modern Realty, we intend to create premium living experiences with projects like the Modern One in Jinja. Modern Aluminium's capacity encompasses a strong base and network and a widely spread supply chain in East Africa. We plan to invest more than $400 million in the next 5 years and deliver unparalleled development and growth for the next generation of Uganda. The Modern Group has also led a bunch of firsts. A remarkable first-in-the-world deal with Lamborghini. We will be producing luxury spirits here to export to the USA and Asian markets. With upcoming investments in pharmaceutical vaccine plants and iron ore plants, we will redefine the strengths of Uganda. With a profound commitment towards the economy of Uganda, we already pay 12 billion shillings in tax, increasing significantly as years go by. With wings of performance spread across multiple skies with Modern Distilleries, Modern Tiles, Modern Hygiene, Modern Sugar, Modern Fertilizer, Modern Power, Modern Realty, Modern Aluminium and Modern Gas, which supplies food-grade carbon dioxide to international giants like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Riham AB InBev. The imagination of Modern Group is to aim to fly high along with Uganda and its people. Like the shimmering gold, forged from the furnace of faith, performance and undying zest. The growth story of the Modern Group will be the story of developing Uganda.
Was spearheaded by Muljibai's two eldest sons, Giant and Manubai. And incidentally, for those who don't know our family very well, sprawling family, Nimisha is of course Giant's daughter, and I'm Manubhai's son. This was a time of great diversification for the group into edible oil, breweries, steels, glass, textiles, and packaging throughout the East Africa region. In 1972, Mr. President, Idi Amin, of course, ordered the expulsion of the Asians, and Manubhai was imprisoned in prison. After the expulsion expired, Amin stripped Manubhai of his Ugandan citizenship and forced him to leave the country. But then again, in 1985, the Madhvani family returned to Uganda. Since then, of course, the group has continued to grow in new areas such as tourism. I'm not going to list them all. We have also entered into many successful joint ventures and always looking for new joint venture partners. Recently, Mr. President, this year we have invested over $30 million, including what is the largest sugar mill in the region in Eastern Africa and Central Africa, and also embarked on an 8,000-hectare irrigation program. We would like to invite you in the early new year to officially commission this mill. I had, Honorable Minister, as requested, prepared a list of long reasons why people should invest in Uganda, but I think my colleagues and my compatriots here and the ambassadors have done an excellent job, and I would like to reiterate the most fundamental thing. Point number one is the peace and stability that we have had since 1986. So thank you all. I'd finally like to thank, of course, the organizers. They've done an excellent job. I think they all deserve a very strong hand of clap. And thank you for your patience. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mehta. There was no way I could stop him because he was in Uganda before I was born. Madhvani Group. Yeah, Your Excellency, now I'm inviting Dr. Sudhir Pereira, our investor in different sectors, hospitality, flowers. Without Dr. Sudhir's flowers, there is no romance in Europe.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Your Excellency, first of all, let me thank you and start with a brief, first, and also acknowledge Right Honorable Members of Parliament, also all the councillors of various embassies, of ambassadors. Your Excellency, our family came to Mombasa in 1897, and they ended up in Uganda in 1903. We're about 4 generations in this country, and I returned back from the UK in 1985. And thanks to your your vision and also creating an environment, a very conducive environment for business and security. And as most of you know, I started with a capital of $25,000, and the rest is history. Our group at the moment employs 9,000 Ugandans directly, and we're in the flower sector. We're the largest flower farm in this country. We have 80 hectares of roses, and we export about 500,000 roses every day. We're in hospitality business. We own 11 hotels in Kampala. We're in real estate. We are in education sector, media amongst a few, and we're probably the largest private property developers in the country. All this would have not happened if you did not create a very conducive environment for us to do business. Okay? And we go to all the ministries, Ministry of Investment, Ministry of Finance, and when we have a genuine issues, everybody obliges. So, you know, can't ask for any more than that. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, we're about to conclude, and now from 100 years, we're coming down to 2 years and 5 years investors. Allow me to invite Mr. Sitaram ready to come and make a brief comment. Mr. Sitaram, you want to talk money more than words?
Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, and distinguished guests, and I thank you so much for the environment that you have created in Uganda for the business. And everybody has spoken enough, and I thank you so much and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Our Asian Industrial Park, MMP, Buyukwe.
Thank you, Honorable. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, all protocols observed. I bring greetings from everybody at MMP Group. My name is Jay Patel. I'm a director at Industrial Park and MMP Group. Your Excellency, today is very much a celebration of great strides that Uganda has made in a period that now spans a little over 30 years under NRM. This is undoubtedly due to your very able leadership and clear vision to ensure the economic transformation of Uganda. MMP Group found in Uganda the fertile seeds which we sowed an idea that has quickly sprouted into multiple businesses that are contributing to the development of this our home, Uganda. I believe that is the same for all other investors that is gathered here today. Your Excellency, you will recall that you officially commissioned, you laid a foundation stone on 7th May of 2019, Industrial Park at Buyukwe. It is now one of the largest industrial parks, and 6 to 7 factories have already started. We shall wait for official commissioning early next year. We are continuing to produce products and offer employment to the people of Buyukwe and surrounding regions to enable the transformations of hundreds of households. Our group is now 20 years old in Uganda, and we employ 14,000 people today directly. When we talk in numbers, we also pay over 100 billion shillings in taxes every year, and we want to increase these figures to even billions and trillions. This is why I'm saying, because we trust Uganda and we want to invest more and more in Uganda. On numerous occasions, you have shared about the history of Uganda and how long this country has enclaved economy built around what you call 3 T's and 3 C's, that is cotton, coffee, copper, tourism, tea, and tobacco. By 1986, a lot of these goods were not readily available, but under your visionary leadership, enabled the resurrection and expansion of economy away from what it had been built around and today. I want to thank you wholeheartedly for your passion and belief in the potential of Uganda. And all in all, Mzee, we love you so much.
Thank you very much. The English people say, my good friend Lord Poppet, who speaks very good English, would say, they say, save the best for the last, but today, he saved the youngest for the last. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, allow me invite our new entrant in Uganda, Ashish Manpara, the MD of Modern Tiles.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Honorable Minister of State for Finance in charge of investment and privatization. The UK Prime Minister's envoy, Lord Dollar Poppet, thank you for hosting us in the UK Parliament. The Chairman of Uganda Investment Authority, the Director General of Uganda Investment Authority, Chairman, Indian Association, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. From distance in India and Europe, we started opportunity research for impactful investment in Africa since 2010. Our data and analytics team was clear. Uganda was the most economically, politically, and socially stable market with huge potential. We finally settled on Uganda as our investment anchor. I arrived with my brother Ishan and Rajan. Please
when intent meets action.
In late 2015, it was my first time in Africa. The beauty of the land was both breathtaking and scary. For I had never been to this continent, and in the middle of thick rainforest, when myself and Dad drove through Mabida forest en route to Jinja, I asked him, "Where are we going?" We snacked out of this pristine forest of the beauty of great landscape, a slide of silk blue water, River Nile, and embraced the city of Jinja. I felt something like the winds of peace and calm. I told my dad, "I love it here. I want to build my life and vision from ground up in this wildly fascinating place." That is how the story of Modern Group began on Uganda. We have since established 6 industrial verticals with total investment of $115 million with import substitution with value of $100 million. These are Modern Distillers 2017, Modern Gas 2018, Modern Aluminium 2019, Modern Organic Fertilizer 2019, Modern Sanitizer 2020, Modern Tiles 2020. As a group, we employ 1,600 directly and 2,500 indirectly Ugandans. On future plans, we are deepening investment in refined and industrial sugar. We have already started working in Burundi district by the name of Modern Sugar, Kidera Sugar Limited, with investing about $330 million. We have also started preparation to invest $200 million to set up iron ore steel plant in Muko. We took an iron ore sample to Austria and the results came out perfect. Our group is also looking to set up pharmaceutical vaccine plant. Our budget for this pharmaceutical vaccine plant is $100 US. Modern Group are the first company in the world to sign up the production deal with Lamborghini, a global conglomerate with brand value of 280 million euros. We will produce Lamborghini products here in Uganda and export to US and Asia markets. I want to thank His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for his vision that continues to create enabling environment for his investments. I want to also thank Honorable Minister Emmanuel Anite for the relentless support. I also thank leadership of Uganda Investment Authority for facilitating our investment. Thank you all.
Thank you very, very much, our dear investors, for that wonderful testimony. Mr. President, as I ask them to step off the stage, allow me to recognize Mr. Livingstone for one role that he plays, UNBS. All the products these investors put in our market for the consumption of our citizens have been certified, and they're truly good for human consumption and the best quality in the world. Please, you can take your seats. You can take your seats, our investors. Your Excellency, Mr. President, this conference was fully sponsored by the investors.